The following is an exclusive presentation of the NCCU Sports Network.
Coach, if you could just start, coming off of bye week, just tell us what you worked on.
Well, first thing we worked on was getting a lot of rest for our guys. We got a lot of minor bumps and bruises right now, and we wanted to make sure that we had give guys a chance to recover and make sure we heal them the appropriate way. The next thing we worked on was quality control. We took a strong look at ourselves and tried to make sure whatever tendencies that we've been showing over the last 3 football games that we do a good job of not giving away too much, but at the same time working on the things that we need to work on.
When you look at your quarterback situation in the last 2 weeks, how did you kind of evaluate it? And it says on the depth chart, Malcolm's still your starter. What did he do to really distinguish himself this week?
Well, I think, Malcolm just struggled. The last game, we were able to put Quinn in, and he came in and gave us a spark and then managed to put us in a situation where we could score a touchdown. And we stayed with him the entire game. But, Malcolm's had success here. He's led us to a championship over the course of his career. So, we're going to continue to stay with Malcolm. He showed a lot of poise this week. I thought he practiced well. But at the same time, we have to get 2 quarterbacks ready to play just in case anything happens. So our preparation this week or last week was no different than it'll be this week. We'll still continue to give Malcolm and Quinn, their due time as far as managing the offense.
Do you imagine them splitting reps at all going forward, or is Malcolm going to be the starter unless something else happens?
He's the starter unless something else happens. Once again, if we need a spark or something, of catastrophic nature happens, we're more than willing to put Quinn in the game, and we feel like he can handle it.
Who are the guys that really stepped up wide receiver-wise to really fill in the place of Khalil Stinson?
Brandon Galloway had an extremely good week of practice last week, and we're hoping he can put another great week of practice together this week. Also, too, Amani Lanier is another backup receiver that we had. He managed to step up and do some great things for us. And David Miller is another young man, a transfer we signed back in this summer. He's going to do some good things for us, we feel.
And how were you able to determine to put Deontay Wright in as the punt returner in place of Mike Jones? What did he do to distinguish himself?
Deontay had always been the third string in case of emergency, so he continues to move up that depth chart. Ryan Smith is also available if we need him as well. But we feel comfortable about an experienced guy back there in such a Deontay handling the ball as a punt returner and also returning kicks sometimes as well.
Coach, you mentioned, taking some time during the bye week to, maybe look in the mirror as a program. Did you have to restore any confidence at all, or what's the team's confidence level at right now?
Oh, I think the team's confidence is extremely high. They understand that we faced 2 really good quality opponents, and we played hard, we played well in some areas, but we do need to improve on some things. But our confidence has not wavered at all. We're still going to this first conference game, as CoChampions, and trying to put a win together.
What are some of the biggest areas you're looking to improve on right now?
Our execution on offense. We have to get better executing on third downs. That's something that we really need to improve on. And just stopping the run and getting people off the field on third downs from a defensive standpoint. We feel like if we do a better job of just making sure we're more disciplined and playing with a little bit more effort in certain situations, understanding that sense of urgency that needs to be, we feel like we can get those things accomplished.
How excited are you about the prospect of facing those tough teams like Duke as you head into conference play now? How much better are you going to be in the long run for doing that? Just
the speed of the game. I think one thing, facing FIU and facing Duke, the speed of their athletes are a little bit faster than what we'll see, on week to week in MEAC play. So it's only going to make us better, and that's the way we approached it. We feel like we did get better as a football program, although the score didn't show it at times. We did get better as far as guys understanding what it's going to take to play at that level and that caliber of football in order for us to get to MEAC play.
Do you treat this as another game, or since it's the start of MEAC play, is it kind of like the start of a new season? Is that the message you give to your guys?
It is. We're 0-0 right now. We're undefeated in MEAC play, and we want to keep it that way. So it is kind of the start of a new season, and I think the guys' focus is where it needs to be right now.
You mentioned the speed of the game. Bethune-Cookman has a thing they call lightning strike scoring. Mm-hmm. They've only had one scoring drive that's lasted more than 3 minutes. Mm-hmm. Does that play against Duke and all that really help going into this week especially?
It does. They're a big play offense. They do a great job pushing the ball vertical down the field. They have some talented receivers. They've got 2-headed monster at quarterback. So we know, that they're going to try to, put the nail in the coffin fast. So we just got to be on our P's and Q's and make sure that we limit those big plays as much as possible.
You also look at their punter was the special teams player of the week for the MEAC. Do you feel like Deontay has any extra pressure knowing that he's going to go up against such a great punter, and you're without, I think you guys were third in the FCS in punt returns, and now you've kind of got a little bit more of a question mark back there, I guess.
Yeah, I just think he's going to take it as a challenge. I mean, once again, young men have to step up. It's his time to shine now. He's had the opportunity in the last few years to not only be a benefit to our program as a running back, but also now as a receiver, and now he's getting those punt return duties. I'm looking forward to see what Deontay can do with the ball in his hands.
And you guys have a national, this game's going to be nationally televised. What added excitement comes with that for the program?
Oh, it's great. Anytime you get that national exposure, it helps recruiting. It gives, young men that's from far away from home chance for their parents and their families to see them play. So I think we're excited about that opportunity.
You envision O'Kelly-Reddick being sold out on Saturday? You have ESPNU coming in here. I know you guys want to have a big showing.
Right. I have no idea. I hope our fans come out and they show great support. Hope the weather holds off. I know we're getting a tropical storm here, but I hope everything works out for the best.
Coach, the last time we saw it, you have 2 players lost for the rest of the season. Mm-hmm. So how big was that, and moving forward, how is that going to impact things?
It's extremely big. Those are 2 quality young men for us. They were 2 potentially. One was definitely an all-conference player. One I felt like had a potential to be an all-conference player. So it is a big impact on our program. But also, too, we have young men that's been practicing hard for the entire fall camp, for the entire season. And I feel comfortable thinking that they're going to show up and they're going to step to the plate.
Have you talked to Mike and Khalil since they've come out of surgery? How are they kind of doing right now?
They're doing well. I saw Mike last week, and also, too, I saw Khalil. We went by the hospital, and we got a chance to visit him as well. So both of them, spirits are high. They're doing the class work, so they just got to get into the mode of rehab and get ready for spring football.
Do you envision them being able to come out to the game on Saturday or even sit on the sideline at all, or how do you think that'll work?
I think Mike will. I'm not exactly sure about Khalil, but I definitely think Mike will be available to be on the sideline.
Is Khalil still in the hospital? I've never broken a hip. I don't know how that recovery works.
No, he was out. He had surgery on a Monday. I think he got released on a Wednesday, if I'm not mistaken. So it was a pretty quick turnaround.
Okay.
We're here with redshirt senior safety, CJ Moore. CJ, talk about what you guys worked on in the off week.
Well, I think as a team, we just got a lot of rest in, and we fine-tuned some things, scheme-wise for both offense and defense. We kind of got to go against each other a lot head-to-head, so to keep the competition level high. So it wasn't like we just had a week off. We were putting in a lot of work this week. Conditioning was big for us this week. Since we didn't have to play a game, we had to make sure we stayed in shape. So we were really conditioning hard this week, harder than we normally do in season. And I think we got better this week.
How do you evaluate where you are 3 games into the season so far?
Well, I think we're where we want to be. I think it's tough sometimes because we played against some good programs, but I think in the long run it's going to help us out. And our spirits are high, and that's where we want to be going into conference play. We have a lot of confidence, and that's something you want to have when you're about to take on your first conference opponent.
How did you spend your Saturday since you weren't out here playing a game? What did you do instead?
Watching college football all Saturday. We were watching film, trying to catch as many games as we could. Saw a couple MEAC games. Went to Virginia with some of our teammates, so it was pretty exciting. We had a good week off.
That's a big weekend. What was the best game you saw?
The best game, probably ECU Virginia Tech. That was an exciting game, just because a lot of the other games were kind of blowout. They were kind of one-sided. Mm-hmm. That was a good game. I think there was a lot of back and forth, a lot of people going up for balls. It was DB receiver type of game, so I kind of like that.
CJ, where'd you go in Virginia?
Richmond, Virginia, with our teammates, Malcolm and Sproul. Darius Sproul.
Yeah, who did you see up there?
Oh.
Did you go to a game up there? Or?
We didn't go to games, but they have, I guess in Virginia is this big thing where they put all the local teams on TV, and we kind of need to get on that here. But so we were watching Virginia State play, and we were watching Hampton play, and Howard play, Norfolk, all those schools. We've got to watch them play. It was, I was like, wow, all these people got TV time.
Speaking of TV coverage, how big is this opportunity for you coming up?
It's huge. Anytime you get to play on TV, it's great exposure for the university, first off. And, as players, as competitors, that's what you want. You want to play on the big stage with the big lights, and you want people to see how hard you've worked all year long. So you want to see that.
Sounds like You guys are really optimistic about how things are going with the bye week and whatnot. So there was no need to rebuild any confidence whatsoever. You guys are still a confident group?
No, there's no need to rebuild confidence. I think as, you know, leaders on the team, we had to kind of talk to each group and make sure that we were at the level we need to be at confidence-wise going in. Because a lot of people who haven't played in conference games or, you know, this is their first real experience playing or actually contributing to the team, a lot of them, you can kind of get down on yourself when you play schools and universities like Duke and FIU, and you're kind of like, dang, you know, am I where I belong? Are we on the right track to play? And so as leaders, we kind of had to reinstill that, yeah, we're on the right path and we're right where we want to be.
You also have to rally each other. You know, when you look at losing Mike Jones, who's obviously really dynamic on both sides of the ball, and then also Khalil Stinson, how do you kind of manage that and, you know, talk people through that?
Well, I think what people are going to be surprised is how deep we are as a team. We're not as bad off as most teams when you lose caliber players like that. But the thing with Mike, we're not going to ask people to step in and beat Mike Jones or beat Khalil Stinson. That's not what we're doing. We're just, you know, the guys who are playing and the guys who have played, you got to do your 111. And if you've been here, you know, I got to make more plays because Mike's not here. You know, Ryan Smith has to make more plays because Mike's not here in the back end. And guys on the outside, Lamar Miller, he got to make more plays. And guys got to make plays, you know, and that's how you rally from losing people like that.
Can you just talk about that this is the start through the march of the MEAC championship, you know, your conference game here. Can you just talk about the excitement you feel getting things started now?
Well, it's exciting because, like you said, we've been working so hard, and this is kind of all the excitement coming to the season for our team has all been surrounded by what we're going to do in the MEAC. No one really knows, and we're confident in what we've worked on this whole year, this whole off season, preparing for MEAC play. So to finally get here and to be preparing for an actual MEAC game, an actual meaningful game, it's exciting.
Is there any extra challenge in maintaining the same chemistry level in the secondary? You know, with Mike gone, do you feel like the same gel is still there?
It's a little off. You know, chemistry is big in football, and it's big especially in the secondary, communication-wise, and you kind of know somebody, like you've been playing with someone for years, and you kind of know they have your back and you have their back. Mm-hmm. But I think, like we said, we have great coaches, and we have players who are ready to step up, guys who know what they're doing, and they've been waiting for their opportunity. So, and we're a close-knit group back there. Like, it's not just like the starters and the backups. We're a close-knit group, so we kind of know what we have going to the game, and we're confident in the guys who are about to play and step up. We really are.
How often are you able to talk to Mike now? When did you kind of hear from him after all the ankle stuff happened?
Well, Mike, I talk to Mike every day. I was just eating with him. You know, he always comes over. Mike's like the little brother in your head. He's always around you. He's always around me. We got class together, so, you know, I always see Mike, and his spirits are high. Mike's a great guy, and I think that's something else, too, that helps when you got a guy like that, as much passion as he plays with on the field, and you see him go through something like that and still be positive. It kind of helps the whole team.
So his ankle isn't hindering him from still being around you guys constantly?
I don't know. I'm pretty sure I see him more now than I used to. Now that he's hurt, I think I see him more now because he got us all waiting hands and knees on him right now. So he's milking it.
How long are you going to let him get away with that?
Till he gets the scooter. We can't do nothing when he's on the crutches, but when they upgrade him to the scooter, it's over for that.
What do you expect from the Hampton offense?
Bethune-Cookman, they're explosive offense. Yeah, that's another explosive offense. But Bethune's offense is really good. You know, they have two quarterbacks, so it's hard to game plan for them specifically. But they both kind of do similar things. But that change of pace is something that most teams can't prepare for. You can't prepare for a change in pace at the quarterback position like that. So, you know, they can score really much any time, you know, with their big play offense they have. And you just kind of have to be assignment sound. You have to make plays versus that team. It's not one of those things where they out-scheme you or out-gap you. They just kind of, my guy's better than your guy. That's kind of how they approach their offense. So you got to make plays when it's time to make a play.
They have these 3-minute scoring drives. That seems to be their signature thing. Does that add any benefit to you guys? Know that, like, your offense can get back on the field and maybe they won't be as tired or anything? Or how do you kind of attack knowing that they're going to be quick scorers and get off the field?
Well, I think it's a benefit. Our offense was number one in the MEAC last year, and that's kind of their thing. And people don't see it right now because they went against some stiff competition in recent weeks, but they're still an explosive offense, and that's something we see on a daily basis. So they challenge us on a daily basis, more or less to not give up explosive plays, make teams earn it, and you have to make teams earn it. If teams can earn it against us, then you can have it. But a team like this, when you make them earn it, it's tough for them because they want to score so fast and they want to score so quickly.
With North Carolina Central being co-champions last year, you split the prize with a few other schools, Bethune-Cookman being one of them. Does that add a little extra going into the game on Saturday?
Oh, absolutely. It's one of those things. Our motto, "Leave no doubt," really was made for a team like this. And people kind of get it, twisted that it's just another game. It's not just another game for us. They're champions, and we look at them like they have a piece of what's ours. And we have to prove to people, and we have to prove to ourselves that we deserve to be champions. And if you want to be the champion, you have to beat the champion. And this is a championship team. So we have to go out there and prove to ourselves and to everyone that we're a championship team.
This has been an exclusive presentation of the NCCU Sports Network.